So we put together a series of DC Ranch videos, and now it's time for you to decide if living in DC Ranch here in Scottsdale, Arizona is the right decision for you. So today, let's talk about the pros and let's talk about the cons of living in DC Ranch, Scottsdale, Arizona. The number one challenge I've had in almost 3 decades now in the real estate business is helping clients get acclimated to a new city. People are always saying, you know, Todd, I think we're gonna rent for the first year because we're not quite sure where we wanna own yet. Folks, my name is Todd Hall. I'm founder of Phoenix Homes and Hotspots right here in beautiful, sunny Phoenix, Arizona. If it's your first time to our channel, welcome. This is the #1 real estate YouTube channel in the state of Arizona, we're proud to say. And look, that's exactly why I built this real estate channel. This is the first step in a great 4-step process that we use to help you figure out what's what. We're gonna show you the best communities, but we're also gonna show you the lifestyle and all the top hotspots that surround them. From there, we have 3 more steps to help you make a determination of where's the best place to live, so that when you arrive here in the Phoenix Metro, you're prepared to hit the ground running, where you don't have to rent, you don't have to give up that equity. We're going to assist you with that. Look, again, if it's your first time, welcome. Please subscribe to our channel. A lot of our clients binge watch our videos, so hit that subscribe button right now. And then if you're planning a trip out here to Phoenix, Arizona, Scottsdale, East Valley, West Valley, whatever it is, give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. That way we can set up your tours, we can show you where all of our local hotspots are, and basically we can be your key to AZ. All right, let's jump into pro number 1 is location. Now listen, you could say location is a pro for almost any neighborhood here in Scottsdale. I will say, as you get further north in North Scottsdale from DC Ranch, you do start to get a little bit more remote, where I may not list location as at least the #1 thing. But here in DC Ranch, we're just north of the 101 freeway. In fact, from where I sit right now, it's a 4 or 5 minute drive down to the 101 freeway. 101 south will take you down to South Scottsdale and over to the East Valley cities like Tempe, Chandler, Mesa, Gilbert, and then you can jump on the 101 right here, literally 4 minutes away, is where the 101 loop curves and goes west. So it'll go south and west. Going west, it'll take you over to North Phoenix, where there's some great shopping and restaurants over there, and then all the way out to the West Valley, cities like Glendale, Peoria, Avondale, Surprise, and some of those cities. So really great proximity to the 101 freeway, also close to the Scottsdale Airport. From, again, where I stand right now, about 30 minutes in light traffic down to Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport. So really great location. Now you're also really close to great restaurants, shopping, everything. I mean, I'm here at the DC Market Street right now, so some of the restaurants and shopping are right here. You can get down to the Scottsdale Quarter. And so again, really great proximity to restaurant, shopping, as well as hiking up here at Pinnacle Peak, just to the north. Golf courses everywhere. And of course, you have some really good schools that we'll talk about here in just a little bit, as well as hospitals nearby. So pro number 1 here at DC Ranch has to be the phenomenal location. One of the things I love about Scottsdale is I call Scottsdale a very lifestyle diverse city. DC Ranch is no different. Number 2 on my list of pros for living in DC Ranch is the fact that it is so diverse in terms of the people that live here, meaning a lifestyle diverse. So you're gonna find a mix of families that are very affluent, by the way. This is an affluent community, but you're gonna find a mix of families that have professions like technology, lawyers, doctors, those types of things. And then you're also gonna find a mix of retirees and snowbirds blended in. So it makes it a really cool community. It makes it a fit for most people, again, so long as you can afford it. So number 2 on that list is the lifestyle diversity at the DC Ranch communities. Now, amenities crack our top 5 of pros and make number 3 on my list of reasons to move or live in DC Ranch. Here, you're gonna find, if you've watched my other videos, which by the way, you can watch my living and playing video by clicking that link above me right now. But if you've watched my other videos, you know there's 4 villages here at DC to make up this community. So you have Silverleaf, you have the country club, you have desert camp, and you have desert parks. Now, they all have amenities in each. So you have little park areas, but you also have community centers in desert camp and desert parks that are available to any resident. And so the amenities range from kids' playgrounds to basketball courts, tennis courts, pickleball courts, fitness centers, you name it, business centers. You're going to find all that stuff here inside of the community, in the community centers at desert camp and desert parks. So really fantastic amenities. That comes in at number 3. All right, next let's jump into number 4. This is a very, very great community environment. I mentioned earlier, it's lifestyle diverse. I mentioned all the amenities and places you can go to meet new people. Not only that, but DC Ranch has a really awesome community calendar. So you have events taking place throughout the year. It gives you an opportunity to go out, meet your neighbor, meet other residents, make friends, mingle with other families, have a chance to hang out with, for your kids to hang out with other kids. So there's always opportunities here at DC Ranch to mix with other people through those community events and through hanging out at some of the park areas and some of the other amenities you have here. So that is number 4 on the pros list. So I've already told you there are a lot of families here, lots of kids in the DC Ranch area. So coming in at number 5 is the fact that this community is family friendly. Hey, if you haven't gotten enough here on this YouTube channel and you want more great content on what to do while you're visiting the Phoenix Metro, I just created a new Facebook group. It's called Scottsdale Communities and Hotspots. So when you're done here, head over there. I'm going to show you all the top hotspots in and around Scottsdale, Arizona, from restaurants, nightlife, shopping, golfing, hikes, special events coming to town. I'm going to do some video walkthroughs with local owners and them walking you through their hotspot. And you're going to get lots of great local residents and their recommendations for what you should do while you're visiting here in the Phoenix Metro. So again, when you're done here, head over to the Facebook group, Scottsdale Communities and Hotspots. We'll see you over there. So we know there's kids, we know there's great amenities for your kids. What else is there to do around DC Ranch that makes it so family friendly? Well, just to the south on the if you go down the 101 freeway, about 10 minutes from here, you're going to find the Talking Stick Family Fun Corridor, is what I call it, where you have the Great Wolf Lodge, where it has the biggest indoor water park in Arizona. You have the Salt River Fields, where the Arizona Diamondbacks and Colorado Rockies have spring training. There's also events that happen there all year long. You also have Top Golf. You have Octane Raceway, you have a really cool batting cage and instruction facility down there. You have iFly for indoor skydiving. So, and you have a casino down there as well. So if you want to drop your kids off at Top Golf and hit the casino for a while, if they're old enough, of course, then you can do that as well. So really cool corridor down there. And then again, we talked about it earlier, but you have Pinnacle Peak just to the north. If you want to do a family hike, you have golf. So again, depending on the age of your kids, lots of cool things to do. So not only are there great things to do right here inside of the gates of the villages, but in the very near vicinity, you have lots of cool things to do as a family as well, which is why family friendly makes number 5 on my list. Now, since there are so many families and kids here in this area, number 6 on my list is there are a lot of great schools in this area. Now, I won't go real deep on schools in this particular video because, again, that link right above me is going to take you to a link for, it's my Scottsdale Schools video. And so it'll take you through all of Scottsdale, show you where the best schools are, what they are, how they're rated, and all of that fun stuff. But with that being said, as you get further north in Scottsdale, which DC Ranch is in North Scottsdale, so as you get further north, the schools tend to get better. Public schools are pretty good. The public schools out here are ranked in the top 20% of all schools in Arizona. But there's also the Great Hearts Academy schools, public charter schools just down the road, and you have some really awesome private schools in the area as well if you prefer your kids go to private. So lots of options. Another thing that you may or may not know, we have school choice here in Arizona. So for some reason you don't like the public schools here in this area, You can drive, take them to a different school. You just go through an open enrollment process to do that. If you have questions, of course, you can always reach out and we'll be happy to answer some of those questions for you. But again, schools, really important pro here in DC Ranch. All right, numero siete. Number 7 on my list of top pros of living here in DC Ranch is safety and security. So again, 4 villages here. 2 of those 4 villages are guard gated. So Silverleaf and the Country Club are guard gated. Between Desert Camp and Desert Parks, most of those communities are also gated. They're gated with a code gate, but most of those communities are gated as well. So you have that safety and security element. The other thing about Scottsdale in general, by the way, is the crime rates are really low. If you were to look at a map showing crimes in the Phoenix metro, and you looked at Scottsdale and the big scheme of the rest of the valley, Scottsdale crime rates are really, really low and very low nationally. But as you get further north, the crime drops even further. So up here north of the 101, the crime rates are very, very minimal. Then you add those the security and the gates, and it makes this area extremely secure. So again, safety and security, really key reason people love this particular area. The 8th reason you may want to move to DC Ranch is because there's really light traffic out here. In fact, Phoenix Metro, as a general rule, as a major metropolitan city, our traffic is pretty light because our city is so spread out. But again, in Scottsdale, if you're in South Scottsdale, it's a little bit more urban. You can find a little more traffic, even though it's not crazy congested like a lot of urban areas. But as you get further north, things get more spread out. There's a lot more desert out here, and you're gonna find that there's much less traffic. One of the things that people find when they come out and visit Scottsdale for the first time, or Phoenix Metro for the first time, and I start driving them around on home and hotspot tours, is one of the things they ask a lot is, where is everybody? Where are all the cars? You know, I get through the light on the first try, or, you know, it could be near rush hour and there's parts of the freeway that aren't even backed up. Of course, we do get some congestion during rush hour and at certain times, but as a general rule, we do a great job keeping ahead of our infrastructure. But up here in this DC Ranch area and up here in North Scottsdale, traffic is really, really light compared to most areas that you're probably coming from. So again, with that said, traffic has to make the list. It makes number 8 on our pros list for DC Ranch. You know, I've been in the real estate business now since 1999, so I know your pain points. And the number 1 pain point is finding the right real estate consultant to work with, but the other one is finding the right loan broker. Now listen, I haven't told very many people this, but my first couple of years in the business, I almost left the business. And it was because there were things in a real estate transaction that I personally couldn't control. And that number 1 thing was that my loan brokers that I was referring my clients to were dropping the ball. Couldn't have been more frustrating. So I know if it was frustrating for me, it's frustrating for you. Look, you need somebody that's going to give you the best communication. They're going to do what they say they do. They close your loan on time, but also they give you the best pricing, the lowest interest rates and the lowest closing costs without having to haggle with them. The loan team I work with now, I've been working with since 2005. They are the best of the best of the best. My clients thank me every time they use them. If you want them as well on your team, you want to be on our team, you know what to do. Pick up the phone, give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me an email, and I'll make sure you get hooked up with the best team here in the Phoenix Metro. Now listen, let's get back to this video. And last but not least on our pros list, coming in at number 9, is the natural beauty up here in North Scottsdale. Anybody that says that the desert isn't beautiful has just not spent enough time out here. You haven't seen our sunrises, you haven't seen our sunsets. But here at DC Ranch, these communities literally sit in the foothills of the McDowell Mountains. So you have beautiful views of the McDowell Mountains to the east. You have views of Pinnacle Peak to the north, which is an amazing hiking trail. The sunsets and the sunrises and the sunsets are absolutely glorious out here. And so really amazing. You also have some elevation here just above the city views, city levels. So you can get some really nice views of the city as well. So number 9 is the natural beauty that you'll find up here in North Scottsdale in this DC Ranch area. All right, so transitioning from our 9 pros and benefits of living in DC Ranch, let's now talk about the cons. And number 1, we have to talk about cost of living. This community is not for everyone. Home prices here start at $500,000 if you want to find a small condo or townhome in the Desert Camp Village, all the way up to $30 million in Silverleaf. And so you have a wide range, but really that entry-level price is $500,000 just for a simple townhome. Most of your single-family homes today are going to be well over $1 million. The average resident out here has an income, earned income, of a little over $200,000 per year as a household combined income. Now that does include Silverleaf, which is a very luxurious, prestigious area to live. So that does include all 4 villages. Obviously, that's going to range from village to village. But expect, if you're looking for a 3-4 bedroom single-family home, you're going to pay starting at over $1 million today to live here in DC Ranch. So those home prices are a barrier to entry for some, and that is con number 1 of living in DC Ranch. Okay, now the second reason you may not want to live in DC Ranch is because you might not find a home here to live in. It's a very popular area. So you say, well, Todd, why is being a popular area a con? Well, it's because there's just not a lot of inventory of homes for sale most of the time. 4 villages, but you may not find really great options here. So by the way, there are some other amazing communities right around DC Ranch as well. But if you want to live in DC Ranch, you may have to be a little bit patient because the inventory typically is a little scarce, a little harder to find exactly what you're looking for if you're looking specific in these villages here at DC Ranch. Now earlier we talked about all the great amenities that the villages here at DC Ranch have to offer. Well, those amenities do come at a cost. So con number 3 on the list is you are going to have higher HOA fees. Again, part of that cost of living that we talked about here in DC Ranch. Again, the pro, I guess, if you're going to look at the other side, is if you want the amenities, you're going to get them. Con is going to cost you a little bit of money. So inside the Country Club Village and Silverleaf Village, you have golf courses and golf clubs. The con is that they're both members only. So just because you live inside of the gates does not give you access to the country club or the golf chips. So those are exclusive. You don't automatically receive those. The other con is they're pricey and there's long wait lists. So I have an entire video that I've actually shot, if you check out that link again above me, of the top 10 golf memberships in North Scottsdale. Now that information is always being updated. So the best way to get updated information, if you want information on Silverleaf and the Country Club at DC Ranch, the memberships, the wait lists, just contact me direct and we'll make sure that you get that. But again, pricey, long wait lists. You don't get a membership just because you live inside the gates. So that is con number 4 of living in DC Ranch. I mean, you knew it was coming. Number 5 on the list, the very last con I have for living in DC Ranch, are the critters. Let's talk about some of the critters that you're going to find out here. Number 1, scorpions. Yes, we live in a desert. And by the way, up here in North Scottsdale, you have even more desert that surrounds you. And so scorpions are going to be a part of life. Now, these scorpions aren't the big, huge scorpions you see in old Western movies. They're the little guys, but if they sting you, they're not going to kill you, but they do pack a little bit of a punch, and you're going to feel it for a few days. By the way, Delta dust is my recommendation for that. So if you want some recommendations of keeping scorpions out of your house, hit me up. We'll talk. I'll set you up. Scorpions are number 1. Number 2, coyotes. You will find some coyotes out here. As a general rule, they're going to leave you alone. You'll find coyotes just running around on the golf course because, again, you're in the middle of the desert. They don't really fear you too much. They keep a distance, but I mean, they're pretty... They kind of know what distance to keep to where they're safe, you're safe, and everybody's cool. But here's what I would not do. If you're a cat lover, you don't want to let the cats out of the house. house. Because not only do we have coyotes, but number 3, we have some bobcats running around as well. You won't see bobcats as often as you'll see coyotes. Coyotes are a really common sight and occurrence. Bobcats you will see from time to time. Again, they're going to keep their distance, but you just don't want to let the cats out of the house because they may not turn up the next day. Just saying. And then number 4, javelinas. Javelinas are like a kind of a big, ugly, giant pig. They're not real friendly and nice. So one of those things, you keep your distance. You may see them strolling through your neighborhood one day. So it's one of those things, you keep your distance. They keep their distance. Everybody's cool. But you live in the desert, you're going to find some critters out here. Number 5, and the very last con I have for living in DC Ranch, North Scottsdale. Hey, did you like that video? Show me some love. Hit the like button down below. Drop a comment. Let me know what your thoughts were. Then be sure you subscribe and tap that alert bell. And from there, I'm going to do all the heavy lifting for you. We'll create the content. We will notify you every time we create new popular videos right here on Phoenix Homes and Hotspots. And then check the description below. I have some other related videos down there. Or you can check out 2 of my most popular videos right here.